Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel today again. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining. My name is Evziba, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back again. I appreciate your loyalty and I do not ever take your love for granted. So guys, short story. Today I had to come into the car to film this video. My son has been very active since morning. I don't know why. I've been waiting for that boy to sleep, but he has refused to sleep. And when he's not asleep, I cannot shoot a video successfully. So hence the reason why you are seeing a different place. I'm just in the car in the compound shooting the video, and I don't know, I hope this video comes out well. Guys, can you see my ring? Sorry, but this ring is not mine, it's my husband's own. It's titanium. Can you see? It's original, the real titanium, and I'm glad I got it for him. Like, I bought this ring for my husband and it has proven the test of time. It has not faded. It's still very much on point even after 3 years. I got a black ring for myself, but unfortunately it has faded completely. I love dark colored rings so much, and I plan to get another one for myself. Hopefully I get it right this time and I'm able to purchase something good enough that will not fade at a reasonable price. Yeah guys, so let's get into today's video. This is not the purpose of today's video, that's just a digression. Today I just want to talk to you about things you should look out for in a relationship, the red flags, basic way of identifying toxic signs in a relationship. Let's talk about general perspective, and I'll also be coming from the spiritual angle too. The scripture made us know that for as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. So as a believer, you are a child of God, so it is normal, like it is normal for you to be led by the Spirit of God. If the Spirit of God is not leading you, you are not a believer. So you must be sensitive to the leading of God's Spirit for you to know the right things to do. You have this notion, you have this intuition. There's just always something that tells you what is right and what is wrong. But it's just unfortunate that most times we get so carried away in the lust of our flesh, in the lust of our eyes. We are not smart enough to differentiate between the right and the wrong. And getting carried away can be so common that you just find yourself on the very wrong path. And most times it's always at the last stage when you cannot help it anymore. So I'll be splitting this topic into different areas. I will talk from the physical perspective, from the emotional perspective. I will speak from the mental perspective. I'll speak from the spiritual perspective, and I'll also speak from the financial perspective. So these 5 perspectives will be the basis of this video on how you should recognize toxic signs in a relationship. Guys, I don't have a note, I don't have a jotter, I have not written things down, but I'm just going to speak from my personal experiences and also from things I've observed in other people's relationships. Now let's start from the physical perspective, which is like the most common way through which you can identify any toxicity in your relationship, and it's basically physical abuse, physical harassment, physical assaults. If you're in a relationship with an individual, it could either be a male or female. Women abuse men, and men also do the same to women. Like, it's just that these days it is more common to say that the abuse is coming from the man, because it is the most reported cases. There are few reported cases of women abusing men, but the truth is there are women that abuse men. It is like it happens. We cannot say it does not happen. So that's from the physical perspective. There are once you see a guy, it doesn't have to beat you for you to know that this one is going to give me that physical combat. By the time I get married to him, like, you guys are going to start fighting. You don't have to see him beat you in the relationship. But from the moment you start noticing that he does not have a good grab, or he does not have a good control of his temper, he cannot control his anger. When he's angry, he is somebody else. When he's angry, his blood is hot, everything is like, he's so agitated, everything around him is a beneficiary of his anger. He starts throwing things outside, he starts talking, you see him, he's shaking. He cannot get a good hold of himself. He cannot get a good grip of himself. Then you should know that this is only a tip of the iceberg. Once you're married to this person, trust me, is going to respect you maybe the first time, the second time. By the time you are, having a disagreement the second, the third, the fourth time, he won't think twice before he beats you. And if you're in a relationship with a guy, he's beating you, but you are trusting and believing that it will stop a marriage. Maybe 1 out of 100 cases is like that you will see a guy stop abusing the wife in marriage. Once he starts beating you in a relationship, please pack your load and go. Move on. There are a lot of men, there are a lot of women in this world that for you to now decide that you want to stick with just one person, it does not make any sense. After all the abuse, after all the maltreatment, it does not make sense at all. So once you see a guy, or even if he's not the person that is abusing you, but his circle of friends, they are the type that they abuse their women, before you know it, it's going to get into his head that if my friends can do this and they can get away with it, then I should try this on my own girlfriend or partner or fiance too. And before you know, he picks up debate and you become a victim of his experiment. Another sign of physical abuse you can say is when it comes to getting intimate with each other. And you start getting intimate with each other, but you start telling him that you are not interested, or you are not in the mood for sex, or you are not in the mood for anything mushy. You just don't want to get intimate at that moment. And he keeps insisting, no, this is what I want. Or she keeps insisting, no, this is what I want. And there is no consensus, there is no sense of agreement. Okay, let's just postpone it. Like he can't get a hold of his body. Just for how long? And it starts to coerce you into, getting sexual or getting intimate. They know that this is not safe for you because it is pure rape. There's no need to mince words together. There is no need to, call it something decent. That is rape. Once you're not giving your consent into getting intimate with somebody else and they force you to do it, or they coerce you to do it, or they lure you to do it, it is just rape. Because the truth is, it is not something you want to do. Your mind is not there. You don't feel like. If you don't feel like, there's nothing you can do to help it. So once your partner tells you, I don't feel like doing this, then please let them be. Don't force them to do it. That's it. Then let me move on to mental abuse. See, this one is very, very common, but it's so subtle that people don't know, or they don't recognize it, or they don't pay attention to it. If you don't have a supportive partner, and every time something goes wrong, or every time something happens, they push the blame to you, they make you feel guilty for the unpleasant situation, then you should know that this is not right. Respecting your partner is very, very important. Very, very important. Like, if your partner is trying to suggest something, or your partner has an opinion and you just don't want to hear it, or you are not just interested, you are not just inspired to listen to what that person has to say, and just feel your own idea has to take the lead, which is going to bring me to this particular point, that domineering attitude. Of course, everybody loves to have their way. Everybody loves to make sense. Everybody loves it when I say something and you pick it up and you act on it. But there are times that you have to, compromise. There are times that you have to submit yourself to listen to what the other person has to say. And if you feel that what the other person is saying is not logical enough, ask for further explanation. Then if you feel that there's something wrong with what they are thinking or how they see things, then you should explain also from your perspective. You have to have a mutual understanding of the situation before you take decision. Then another thing you should watch out for when it comes to this mental area is be careful of those that are so subtle to impose their decisions on you. Let me give you an instance. In my former relationship, this guy is so smart that he will listen to everything I have to say. He won't even object. He won't even say no. Oh, wow, that's a good idea. That's a beautiful one. But I don't know how he does it, but there's just something he does that before I know what is going on, that thing he said that he wants to do is already playing out. And that is exactly what is going to happen. Okay, let me give you an instance. There was this time I went to, see him, and There's a particular restaurant I liked, and I told him that that is where I want to go. Oh, wow, beautiful, fine, nice, let's go there. But on our way, he just, branched at another restaurant and ordered food. And what's going on? I called him and I asked, what's going on? This is not where we are supposed to be. Like, oh, I just wanted to have a taste of what they prepare here. Maybe you like it. And before you know, I ate and I was already full, and just cancelled out the plan of us visiting the particular restaurant I would have loved us to visit. For somebody like that, it's so subtle in his ways. That's just one of many examples of things he does to always get it right. Like, it's so subtle in his ways, very, very smart, that you can hardly notice that this person has a way of disposing your ideas. He has a way of discarding your opinions. So you must be very, very sensitive. You must be very, very observant. You must be very, very watchful to, pick out the signs. The signs that you may not notice until you start living together. You must be sensitive to pick it out. Financial perspective. Guys, this one. If you don't know what you are doing, you will suffer. See, money can cause a lot of damage in relationship, especially for people that don't know how to handle it. So before you get involved in a relationship with a man, you should discuss finances. And from the moment you start discussing finances, you get to know what this person thinks. You get to know this person's disposition, this person's thoughts about money. Does this person control money, or money is what is controlling this individual? So you have to figure it out. You have to ask yourself all those questions. You have to have an answer to those questions. If you feel that this person is being controlled by money, and when it comes to money matters, it cannot be handled. Or just imagine if along the line something happens, is the one that lost his job, and I have to be the one taking care of the house, managing the whole thing, bringing my money in. I, as a lady, can I be submissive enough to hand over my income to him? Like, is it that trustworthy? How does he handle money? So these are the questions you need to answer. If you feel that the answer to that question is negative, then you have to find your way out of that relationship. Now, let's talk about the emotional aspect. The emotional aspect, see, you don't want to get into a relationship with somebody that will drain you emotionally. Hey, God. Hey. You don't want to get into a relationship with a guy or a lady that will drain you emotionally. That is why it is important that you look for somebody who has enough self-confidence for themselves before you get into a relationship with them. Because if they don't have that confidence, if they don't have that esteem, there's no way they will raise you emotionally. Like, sometimes if you don't have somebody that can admire you, that can, praise you, that can boost your esteem, if he's not that kind of person, if she's not that kind of person, you have to talk about it. If talking about it is not helping, then excuse yourself from the relationship. Because sometimes you can get so overwhelmed with life, with work, with family, with business, with a lot of things. And the person you have decided to spend the rest of your life with is the person you want to be by your side. Is the person you want to be able to talk to, that will be able to boost your morale when it is low. It is the person you want to, encourage you when you feel down, when you feel depressed, when you feel unmotivated, when you feel inanimated. You want that person to be there for you, to make you feel better, to make you feel great, to make you feel amazing. You understand? So if you are not getting such from the person you are with, you want to talk about it. If talking about it will not help, please move from that relationship. Do not stay in a relationship with somebody that is emotionally draining, or somebody that talks you down in front of their friends, in front of their family, in front of their relatives, in front of their colleagues. Could make sense. Yeah, you don't want to be in that relationship where you are meeting your spouse's colleague and the kind of reports you get about yourself is not so encouraging and you feel very terrible. Or you've noticed that whenever you're outside among group of friends or family or people and everybody's talking about their spouse, and you know how this thing works now. People talk positively about their spouses, about their partners, and you start feeling jealous for them. But when it comes to your turn, your partner speaks very low of you, very poor of you, and you feel embarrassed among those set of people, you don't want to be in that relationship. Then another thing you should watch out for in a relationship is jealousy. Hey. Especially in men. How do your partner handle you and your male friends? You have to be very, 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 very watchful of that. It's okay to have male friends as a lady. Of course, you have to define the boundaries. You have to define how far you go with that friendship. You can't expect your male friend to be calling you at 12 a.m. while you are beside your husband. It's not acceptable. You understand. But is it the type that feels very insecure whenever he sees you with another guy? Even if it's not your friend, if it's a colleague from work. Does he start asking you questions? What are you doing with that person? Or what are you guys doing together? Why are you alone? Why is he dropping you? Why is he taking you out? All those things. You have to watch out for those signs. If you notice that this guy starts feeling insecure, he starts feeling extremely jealous to the point that is ready to hurt the other person, is ready to hurt your friends, or she starts feeling jealous to the point that she goes too far to send messages to your female friends, asking them questions and embarrassing them, feeling very, very unsettled about your relationship with them, it's not safe for you to be in that relationship. When I met my husband, most of his friends were female. Like, he had a lot of female friends. And funny enough, these female friends, they are married with their husband. And you know the good thing about it is now we are family friends. I am now closer to those female friends of his than he is closer to them. Like, there's just a way we connected, and I find it convenient or comfortable to talk to his female friends, and they find it convenient to talk to me. Like, it just works out in a way that we all became family, so to speak. So if your spouse or your partner cannot handle seeing you with the opposite sex as friends, then you want to leave that relationship, because the truth is jealousy is very, very bad. Jealousy is very, very deadly, that it can push people to do what they are not supposed to do. It can push people to become very harmful. Does this person celebrate you whenever you are successful? Or they feel that you don't deserve to be successful? The success should always come from them. They want to put you under them. Is that even the correct English? But they want to be above, and you should be beneath. So every glory should be given to them, and you don't deserve to be praised or appreciated. Okay, fine. Let me give an example so that you can understand better. If you got promoted from work as a lady, and you realize that your salary will triple your husband's salary, and you get home and your partner's salary, and you get home and you tell your partner, oh babe, I got promoted at work. Let's even say you're not married yet. I got promoted at work. I'll be earning so amount, and the first reaction you get is not excited about it. Is not elated about it. Are you not happy? And just fake the smile and make you feel excited or happy, but deep down he's not happy. Then following that, you start noticing some odd reactions, some unnecessary hate. Everything he picks at everything you do, pick offenses with little mistakes you make. You don't want to be with that person. That person is completely insecure. It's completely insecure. Does not trust you. It does not trust you. It does not love you. If it loves you, it will want you to make progress. If it loves you, it will want you to go far in life. So you must never find yourself in that state. And if you find yourself in that state, make sure that you walk out of it. Walk out of that relationship before it turns you to a non-entity. Is non-entity even the right word? No. Non-entity is not the right word, but the truth is, if your progress is a threat to him, then you will be very careful in making progress, because you don't want to offend him. And before you know it, you will not make any advancement, and everybody will be going far. They will be soaring high while you are just in one spot, feeling sad, feeling unhappy, feeling unfulfilled just because you want to please somebody. Do not stay in a relationship with somebody that uses your words against you. Fine, you are getting into a relationship with somebody, you love them, they are supposed to love you back, and because of this, you tell them about your flaws, you let them know about your weaknesses, they know everything that is wrong with you, that is unwell with you, but somewhere along the line, you guys have disagreements, and the next line he will pick is, or she will pick is, and that is why this is happening to you. That is why you are very, very, the person start using those words, those flaws, those incompetences, start using them against you in the heat of an argument, and everything just backfires and it becomes very terrible. You feel very bad, and you feel very, very, you just feel terrible for yourself, and you just wish you had not opened up to that person. So once you notice that this person uses your flaws and your incompetences against you in a relationship, talk to them about it. I don't like this thing, don't do it again. If they are not ready to listen to you, please move. Successful, agreeable disagreements. Is that English, guys? Is that English? But guys, no, seriously, if you don't have meaningful disagreements, sometimes disagreement that leads or ends up at an agreement, if you don't have it most of the time, you don't want to stay in that relationship, because the truth is, every time you argue, it leads to a major fight. When you argue, when you have disagreements, you're supposed to talk it out and reach a conclusion and just move on. Things are supposed to get better after a disagreement. But if you have noticed that things are not getting better after every disagreement, or you have noticed that things get worse after every disagreement, why are you still in that relationship, auntie? What are you still doing there? It is not meant for you. Maturity. Is this person matured enough? Or every time you have issues, every time you have challenges, he either calls his mom, or she calls her mom, or reports you to your mentors, or is this person able to take in every discomfort that comes up in your relationship? Is this person able to manage conflicts? Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Conflict resolution. Can this person manage conflict? Can this person handle ugly situations? Can this person handle unfavorable circumstances, unpleasant circumstances? Can this person handle it? If you notice that this person cannot handle it, then it is a red flag. Spiritual aspect. It is a different thing for you to meet a brother in church, and once you are married, you realize that this brother is nothing but an emptiness. He is completely empty spiritually. He has no clue. He has no knowledge. You must be very, very sensitive to the leading of the Spirit to discern the right person for you spiritually. To discern how spirit-filled this person is. It is not a difficult thing to know if you are walking in the Spirit. It is not difficult for you to identify if you are walking in the Spirit. But if you are not, you will be carried away by every surface thing you see. I never ever suggest praying about your relationship. Flee from that person. Flee. What did I say? Flee from that person. If you meet a brother today who never tells you, oh, I feel in my spirit, or I sense in my spirit that we should pray about this, or you share a particular challenge with him or with her, it could be a lady or a guy that you meet and you feel that you have challenges at your workplace, things are coming up and you feel overwhelmed by it, and it's not suggesting, oh, let's pray about it, or don't worry, I'll be praying for you, or suggest that, oh, let's talk to God about it. It never happens in your relationship. It never comes up. You guys are just living life, just following the moment and enjoying yourself, go out, have fun, everything, but spiritually nothing. There's a vacuum, there's a space that is not being filled up. What did I say? Flee. The scripture says that you flee all appearances of evil. Anything that does not portray the things of the Spirit is evil. It is not safe for you, because when you guys get married together and you're living together, and there are different challenges that start coming up that you need to face spiritually. Or let me even give you an example. When you guys get married and you get pregnant, and your spouse cannot place his hands on your bump and pray for your baby, for the baby you are expecting, it's not a good sign. And if you are married, you are watching this video, you should start learning it is not a good thing if you cannot, as a man, stand up in the middle of the night. You know, like, tradition and culture has caused a lot of things. It has caused a lot of problems. People believe that it is the job of the woman to stand up and pray for the family in the middle of the night. Who says that the man cannot do it? If you as a man cannot get up in the middle of the night, pray for your wife, pray for your children, or in the morning when you see your children, after greetings and everything, you put your hand on your head, you pray for them, you speak words of life into them, you prophesy into their lives. You if you cannot do it as a man, what do you gain? Responsibility comes with being a man, and you must be braced up for it. You must be ready for it, because if you're not ready for it, 20-30 years down the lane, when you're supposed to be having a sense of fulfillment that you have achieved something, then you start having that sense of despair. You start feeling very terrible, very unfulfilled with yourself, and you are going to bury yourself in regrets even before you die. So it is very, very important that you brace up yourself, even as a lady. Brace up yourself, because marriage is one of those things that happens in life, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of work. You have to work hard in marriage. It's not to say that marriage is difficult, but it just comes with extra responsibility. Having somebody else with you, then when you start bringing children into the picture, you have extra people to handle, extra things to manage. Yeah, guys, so that's it for today. I hope you learned one or two things from this video. Sorry if I'm just rambling. I hope you make out a point, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please drop them down below. Share this video with everybody you know that it will be useful to. Yeah, please share. Feel free. Freely have you received, freely shall you give. So please, I might give a second part to this video. There are some things that I still have on my mind that I've not spoken about because of time is against us, and I don't want to exhaust everybody's data, so that you can always come back to watch more of this video. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit that red subscribe button. Subscription is free. You don't have to pay for it. It is completely free. Just hit the red button and you're part of this family. I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.